All right, so are you ready? Let's dive into something I think you've been kind of curious about. Trucking and freight brokerage. Like, you know, big rigs and
Okay.
logistics.
Yeah.
And maybe even a road to riches.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Big time.
So you shared this book with me, and this book has got a seriously long title. I think it's something like Trucking and Freight Broker Business Startup Dash.
Yeah.
Two books in one.
Yeah.
I think for sanity's sake, we'll just call this Trucking and Brokerage.
Yes. Way easier.
Yep.
Much easier.
Okay, but so this book makes some pretty bold claims
Yeah.
about the earning potential in trucking and freight
For
brokerage.
sure.
Like, really bold. So our mission today is to
Yeah.
cut through the hype. Can you actually build a successful business in these fields? And if so, what does it really take?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's break it down.
Okay, let's start with trucking. The book says the average owner-operator can earn anywhere from $200,000 to $500,000 a year. Whoa! It's
Yep.
like a lot.
That's a lot of ground to cover.
Is that even realistic?
Those numbers are definitely attainable. But, it's not just about driving skills. It's really about business smarts. So think of it this way. You're not just hauling cargo, You're managing a whole operation. You're dealing with fuel costs, maintenance, insurance, marketing.
Whoa. I'm already getting stressed out just thinking about it.
Exactly. The book actually has a whole chapter dedicated to, the top reasons trucking businesses fail. And one of the major pitfalls is underestimating these operating costs. Another is neglecting that marketing side. How do you stand out in a sea of trucks?
So you're saying it's not just about hitting the open road
Oh.
and, raking in the cash.
Oh, definitely not. No, the successful owner-operators out there, they treat it like a CEO would. They got systems. They're analyzing their routes for efficiency. They're building relationships with the clients, to secure consistent work. It's a whole different ballgame.
Okay, so maybe not a simple life, but potentially a lucrative one.
Yeah.
No. What about the other side of the coin? Freight brokerage. The book talks about building a six-figure income and even turning it into a family business. That sounds more my speed. Honestly, less diesel fumes, more deal making.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised how much overlap there is between the two. Building a solid network is crucial for truckers and brokers. The book highlights how freight brokers thrive on long-term relationships. Shippers need to trust you to handle their cargo, and carriers need to know that you're going to find them good routes.
So you're not just like, matching up trucks with loads.
Yeah.
There's a whole trust factor in there.
Oh, absolutely. And the book really emphasizes that negotiation skills are key. It's not just about finding the cheapest option. It's about finding the right fit, understanding deadlines, handling unexpected hiccups
Oh,
that
yeah.
happen along the way. Can you smooth talk a stressed out shipper while also keeping a driver happy when there's a delay? Those skills are gold.
Okay. Now, one thing that jumps out to me is that freight brokers, they don't actually need to own trucks, right? It's more of a service-based business. Could you even run this from like, I don't know, a beachside cabana?
Theoretically, yes. The beauty of freight brokerage is the flexibility. But don't let that work from home image fool. This is a hustle. Think about it. You're managing multiple shipments at once. You're coordinating with drivers across different time zones, maybe even dealing with international regulations. The book emphasizes that strong organizational skills and tech savviness are key here. You're essentially the conductor of a complex logistical orchestra.
Okay. Orchestra conductor sounds a bit more glamorous than middleman.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
this trucking and brokerage book, it's not just hype. It sounds like it actually dives into the nitty-gritty.
It seems to be very hands-on. It walks you through the legal steps, the licensing, even things like creating a business plan and marketing yourself.
Yeah. And I noticed some intriguing chapter titles like 10 Reasons Why Trucking Businesses Fail, Grow Your Business with Smart Marketing. Seems like it gets into the real-world challenges and solutions.
Exactly. What I find fascinating is that the book really emphasizes the mindset shift needed for success. Whether you're behind the wheel or negotiating deals, you need to think like an entrepreneur, not just someone doing a job.
That's a great point. We've been talking about big earnings. But it's clear that this isn't some sort of lottery ticket. It takes work and strategy and a whole lot of resilience.
For sure. And honestly, that's where the excitement lies. These aren't passive income schemes. You're actively building something, solving problems, potentially shaping a whole industry.
So for our listener out there
I know.
who's been dreaming of taking the wheel, so to speak, it sounds like there's a lot to consider.
There is. And in part 2, we'll dig deeper into those specific challenges and opportunities that the book highlights, so you can really get a feel for what this path entails.
Perfect. Because before anyone invests in a truck
Yeah.
or starts cold calling shippers, they need to know if this is the right fit for their personality, their risk tolerance, and their vision for the future.
Exactly.
All right, stay tuned. Welcome back. We're digging deeper into the realities of trucking and freight brokerage. And I'm ready to, shift gears from dreaming about big rigs to understanding the real work involved.
I like that.
Right.
Yeah, a wise approach. Remember that chapter title? That caught our eye. Um, 10 reasons why trucking businesses fail.
Yeah.
Let's unpack some of those pitfalls.
Yeah, I'm all about avoiding speed bumps on the road to success. So what are some of the biggest mistakes that people make?
Well, the book highlights some really common ones. Poor financial management's a big one. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement, of buying a truck, hitting the road, and seeing those first checks roll in. But are you really tracking your expenses?
Yeah.
Fuel costs, maintenance, those unexpected repairs, they can add up quickly.
So it's not just about how much you earn, it's about how much you keep.
Precisely. And then there's insurance, another area where people try to cut corners. But one accident without proper coverage, you could be wiping out your entire business. The book really hammers home the importance of being thorough and having the right policies in place, to
Yeah.
protect yourself.
Yeah, I'm sensing a theme here. Preparation is key.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the financial side. The book also talks about, the importance of choosing the right niche. Within the trucking industry, are you hauling dry goods, refrigerated freight, specializing in hazardous materials? Each sector has its own regulations, its own challenges, and its own profit margins.
It's not just about being a good driver, it's about being a specialist.
Right.
I-
And marketing plays a huge role too. Think about it. If you're an independent trucker, how do you stand out? How do you convince shippers to choose you over the competition?
That's where that other chapter title comes in, right? Grow your business with smart marketing.
Exactly. The book talks about the importance of building a strong online presence. It's not just about word of mouth anymore. You need a professional website. You need to be active on social media. Maybe even consider using online load boards to connect with potential clients.
So even if you're a one-man operation, you got to think like a marketing pro.
Absolutely. And on the freight brokerage side, the challenges are different, but just as important. One of the biggest pitfalls the book highlights is failing to build a strong client base. It's not enough to just be good at connecting shippers with carriers. You need to develop those long-term relationships.
Right, because if one client dries up,
Mm-hmm.
your whole business could be in trouble.
Right. The book really emphasizes the importance of diversifying your client portfolio. Always be looking for new opportunities and building that network. And it's not just about finding clients, it's about retaining them. Providing excellent customer service, going the extra mile to solve problems, that's what builds loyalty.
So even though you're not physically driving the truck, there's a whole other kind of hustle involved.
Definitely. And the book also dives into the legal and regulatory side of freight brokerage. There are licenses to obtain, permits to keep track of. It can be a bit overwhelming. The book provides some great checklists and resources to make sure you're dotting your I's and crossing your dead pats.
Sounds like there's a lot of paperwork involved, whether you're behind the wheel or behind a desk.
There is. But here's the thing. The book doesn't sugarcoat the challenges.
Yeah.
It presents them clearly so you can go in with your eyes wide open.
That's what we want for our listeners, right? Informed decision-making, not just blind optimism.
Exactly. And the book also provides real-world examples, case studies of people who've built successful businesses, in both trucking and freight brokerage. It's inspiring to see how they overcame obstacles, how they innovated, how they found their niche.
That's a great point. We've been talking about the pitfalls, the challenges. But what about the other side? What are the rewards? Beyond just the financial aspect.
Well, both trucking and freight brokerage offer a level of autonomy that's hard to find in a lot of other careers. You're your own boss. You set your own schedule. You make your own decisions.
There's a certain freedom to that, right?
Right.
Whether it's the open road or the freedom to build your business from the ground up.
Absolutely. And then there's the satisfaction, of being part of a vital industry, the backbone of the economy. Everything we buy, everything we use, it got there because of truckers. And the people who coordinate those shipments.
Yeah, it's a real-world impact. You're not just pushing papers. You're making things happen.
Exactly. And the book captures that sense of purpose, that feeling of contributing to something bigger than yourself.
So for our listener who's been intrigued by this world, we've gone beyond the surface now. We've explored the challenges, the legal stuff. the marketing hustle. It's not just about driving a truck or making deals. It's about being a savvy entrepreneur.
Right. And in part 3, we'll bring it all together. We'll connect the dots and help our listener decide, if this path is truly the right fit for them.
Stay tuned. We're about to deliver the final insights. Wow, we've covered a lot of ground at this deep dive. I mean, from, like dreaming about those big paychecks
Yeah.
to facing the reality of breakdowns, regulations, and marketing. It's been quite the journey.
Oh, it has. We've explored the nuts and bolts of both trucking and freight brokerage, really pulled back the curtain on what it takes to succeed in this industry.
And as we wrap up this deep dive into this trucking and brokerage book, one thing that really stands out to me is that this book isn't just some rah-rah, get-rich-quick scheme. It's a surprisingly honest and practical guide.
I agree. It lays out the challenges very clearly, but it also equips you with the knowledge and the strategies, to navigate them. It's almost like having a seasoned mentor in your corner, sharing, hard-won wisdom, guiding you through the process.
Right. Like, remember that section on calculating your operating costs?
Well, yeah.
Not exactly glamorous,
Yeah.
but essential.
Yeah.
The book even provides templates and formulas to help you get a realistic picture of your profit margins.
And that's so crucial because a lot of aspiring truckers and brokers, they stumble right out of the gate by underestimating those expenses, like fuel costs fluctuate. Maintenance can throw those unexpected curveballs, and insurance premiums. They can take a big bite out of your earnings.
Right. And the book also emphasized the importance of building a solid business plan, even if you're a one-person operation. And I thought that section was really valuable. It walks you through, defining your target market, identifying your niche, setting realistic goals, even crafting a marketing strategy.
Yeah, it's about approaching this like a true entrepreneur, not just someone with a CDL or a knack for logistics.
Yeah.
The book encourages you to, think strategically, analyze your strengths and weaknesses, position yourself for success in a competitive market.
And one thing that really resonated with me was the emphasis on continuous learning. These industries, trucking and freight brokerage, they're constantly evolving with new technologies, regulations, and market trends emerging all the time.
Yeah, the book stresses the importance of staying adaptable, attending industry events, networking with other professionals, and even embracing online resources to stay ahead of the curve.
Right. It's not a set it and forget it kind of business.
Right.
You're going to be willing to learn and grow and pivot as needed.
And that's where the passion comes in. The book makes it clear that financial success, and it's only part of the equation, the truly successful individuals in these fields, they're driven by a genuine love for what they do. Whether it's the freedom of the open road or the satisfaction of orchestrating these complex logistical solutions.
That's a great point. We've talked about the practicalities, the challenges, the business side of things, but ultimately it comes down to that spark, that drive that keeps you going when the going gets tough.
Right. Because, let's face it, there will be tough times, breakdowns, delays, difficult clients, market fluctuations. It's all part of the journey.
But for those who are truly cut out for this life, those challenges become opportunities to learn and adapt and ultimately build a successful and fulfilling career.
Exactly. And that's what I hope our listener takes away from this deep dive. A sense of empowerment, a clear understanding of the path ahead, and the confidence to decide if this is the right road for them.
So as we wrap up, let's imagine our listener at a crossroads.
Okay.
On one hand, there's the familiar, the comfortable, maybe even the predictable path that they're on now. And on the other hand, there's this open road full of possibilities, challenges, and the potential to build something truly their own.
Right.
This trucking and brokerage book has provided the map, the guidance,
insights,
the tools.
Yeah.
Now it's up to our listener to grab the wheel and decide where they want to go.
And we're here to cheer them on every step of the way. Keep on trucking, keep on brokering, and keep on diving deep.
Yeah.